Stepped on the scene, dripped in saline. Whole crew shining, call me Mr. Clean. Came in from the back, walked right to the front. Dancing to the music, smoking on the. Got the women smiling, punk grilling me, looking all dusty. Black Force energy, I don't even drink, but the team pop bottles. Not here for the beef, but the Glock holds hollows. Think I'm cocky, but I think I'm worse. In this flexing like a Mr. Universe.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros. Did Canelo take a shot at Terence Crawford's resume? So there was an exchange, and I know that this happened, around the time when we weren't recording, but you know how we get down. We get down on Sundays, man. So that just is what it is. And here's from ESPN Ringside. It states, Bud didn't like Canelo downplaying his resume. So Canelo stated on via TMZ Sport, he said, like I always said, I respect Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just won one big fight. If you see his record, he's just beaten one good fighter. Other than that, I don't think he's beaten other great fighters. So that's what Canelo said. And Terence Crawford responded on Twitter. He said, here we go with the I haven't fought nobody but Errol Spence talk. LOL. Y'all so delusional, it's crazy. That's what TC had to say. So now we're going to discuss it. Canelo says only one good fighter, only one big fighter on his resume, Errol Spence. And TC said, y'all delusional, trying to downplay his resume. Gee, how do you feel about that exchange?
I mean, I low-key agree with Canelo, because I'm like, I don't know, what are you talking about? You got Jose Benavidez, like, you got a past his prime Special K. Who else?
Sean Porter.
Past his prime Sean Porter, when he fought him. And
he got a mid-con.
You see what I'm saying?
You got Khan, bro. You got to give him Khan.
His roster, I don't think Canelo meant it in disrespect. I think Canelo's just being honest. Like, all right, bro, listen. Yeah, you took out Spence, but slow your roll, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your resume, it ain't as thorough as you think it is. And that's just the truth, And so, but I understand how TC responded, because I know TC's been hearing that practically his whole career. It's like every time he's about to face somebody, they go like, yo, but your resume ain't solid. Resume this, your resume that. So he's probably just tired of hearing that, and especially now that he's done such a great performance against Spence. And now everybody's like, yo, what about Canelo? What about Canelo? And Canelo's like, yo, come on. Yeah, that sounds cute, but, he has to build his resume up if he wants to mess with me. I can see how that could be offensive to TC. So, TC, don't take it all personal like that. I don't think Canelo meant it the way that you're taking it. He's just being honest. Now, there could have been a better way of saying that. However, English isn't his first language. So, give Canelo some grace, because I don't think he meant it in disrespect. And we're reading something versus hearing a person actually explain something, like the tone's not there. So I don't think he should conclude that Canelo is like bringing smoke based upon that quote right there.
All right, Dollar Bill.
First of all, Canelo's already said that Crawford's one of his favorite fighters. And he actually was one of the first people that jumped out the window to congratulate him on a spectacular fight. Canelo is a great ambassador for the sport of boxing, and he's always showed fighters love. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was coming from a place of hate. He was just telling the truth, And sometimes if you're insecure, the truth hurts.
That's a
but but it's true. All I think was Canelo was just saying what we all say. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is an amazing fighter. He's a great fighter. Canelo has said it. I have said it. We all have said it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. But his resume ain't it. That's why when it came to negotiations, that's why we were all saying, his resume ain't it. That's what it's going to come down. Who you fought. When it's time to talk them numbers, what numbers did you put up? Who you fought? What numbers did you do? All that comes into play. But some of y'all don't hear me, though. But shout out to Canelo, man. He just keeping it a buck. He just keeping it a buck. No hate, no shade. Just keeping it on.
Yeah, I think this is where people kind of the disconnect comes in, because if you tell people something other than what they want to hear, they get frustrated and they get upset. But the reality is, we've always said that TC was a great fighter. His resume just left something to be desired. And even TC said it himself. He said he hasn't fought any marquee names. That's what he said. He said, I haven't fought any marquee names. That was one of the issues he had with Bob Arum at Top Rank. And that's why he put it in the lawsuit. And so he did beat Earl Spence, and that's why he's getting all the love. The reality is it took TC this long to get all the love is because he didn't have an opponent that had the notoriety of Earl Spence. He didn't have a marquee opponent on his resume like Earl Spence until the Earl Spence fight. That's just the reality. If I said to you right now, and I'm going to put this challenge to people in the comment section, I challenge you to name to me all the first ballot Hall of Famers that Terence Crawford is beating. Name them. We don't even know if Earl Spence is going to be first ballot, but maybe. I'll give you Earl. So name another opponent on Terence Bud Crawford's resume who's a first ballot Hall of Famer that he beat. Do that. And we can start there. Because no one's saying he hasn't beaten good fighters. When Canelo says he beat Earl Spence, and that's the only real name, that's what I think he's alluding to. He doesn't have a resume filled of first ballot Hall of Famers. He doesn't have a resume filled of marquee names. Right? That's what I think he was getting at. I don't think he was saying it to be disrespectful. I think he was just saying what most people would acknowledge, and that what TC's acknowledged himself. Although he said y'all so delusional. I stand on it. I think TC is a great fighter. I think TC is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think TC has beaten everyone you put in front of him, and that's all he can do. Unfortunately, due to promotional issues, due to network issues, he hasn't been able to get the marquee names until now. And we were just discussing the future is great for TC. TC got a lot of names now that he can fight, but he hasn't always had that. And that's what held him back in terms of his popularity. Now he's in a position where he's gaining popularity, and we can see him dominate these marquee names. And I'm happy for him. But in the past, that wasn't the case. And that's basically all Canelo was referring to.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know you're rocking with Boxing Bros.
I feel it in my soul. Can you feel me? My money right. Became so cold in my cell, all them lonely nights. Stay 10 toes.